James, have you ever been stuck in a lift with someone, just the two of you, and the silence got so heavy you considered pretending to receive an urgent phone call?
Oh, the lift silence. The most intense 30 seconds in human social history.
30 seconds that feel like 30 minutes.
And neither of you says anything because what would you even say?
Nice lift. Going up, I see. We're both alive in this small box together.
We're both alive in this small box together. A truly beautiful opening line.
Guaranteed to start a wonderful friendship.
And this exact discomfort is exactly what we're talking about today. Small talk.
The art of saying something, anything, to fill a silence and make a stranger feel a little less like a stranger.
Hey, English learners! Welcome back to the Rush Pages podcast, your cozy place to learn real English through real everyday conversations. I'm Emma.
And I'm James, and today's episode is for everyone who has ever frozen in a lift, a queue, a waiting room, or any small space with another human being and a deadline of silence.
Today we're talking about how to make small talk in English. Confidently, naturally, without that horrible feeling of running out of things to say after one sentence.
We'll give you real phrases, real strategies, and a few honest stories of our own small talk disasters.
Several disasters. Very honest ones.
Let's begin.
James, let's start with the obvious question. Why does small talk feel so difficult, especially in a second language?
I think the first reason is it feels pointless. You're not actually exchanging important information. You're talking about the weather or the queue or how busy the shop is, and your brain thinks, why are we even doing this?
Pointless, having no purpose or meaning. And on the surface, small talk does seem pointless, but it's really not.
It's not about the content, it's about the connection. Small talk is a social signal. It says, I see you, you're safe, I'm friendly. That's its real job.
Social signal, a small action or word that communicates something about your intentions or feelings to another person without saying it directly.
And once you understand that the words themselves don't matter that much, the pressure drops. You're not trying to say something brilliant, you're just trying to be warm. It's spontaneous, happening in the moment without planning, which is uncomfortable for learners who like predictability.
And the third reason? The fear of awkward silence. The moment you run out of things to say, and there's a gap, and the gap feels like failure.
Awkward silence, an uncomfortable pause in conversation where neither person knows what to say next. And learners often think that silence means they've done something wrong.
But here's something important. Awkward silences happen to everyone, native speakers included. They happen in every language, in every culture, to every type of person.
Genuinely, I have had painfully awkward silences in my own native language with people I've known for years.
We all have. Silence is not a language problem. It's a human problem.
A very human, very universal problem. And once you accept that, small talk becomes a lot less frightening.
Because you stop expecting perfection, you just expect connection, even an imperfect one. Let's get practical. What are the actual building blocks of small talk? The pieces you can rely on in almost any situation?
The first building block, observation about the shared situation. This is the easiest one because it's always available. You're both in the same place at the same time, experiencing the same thing.
Shared situation, something you and the other person are both experiencing right now. The same cue, The same weather, the same delay, the same room.
So you comment on it. This queue is moving so slowly. Can you believe how hot it is today? This music is actually pretty good.
And the beauty of this approach, you don't need any personal information about the other person. You're just commenting on something you can both see and feel.
The second building block, a genuine compliment kept light. Not deep, not personal, just a small, easy observation.
I love your bag. Where did you get it? That's a great umbrella. Mine just broke this morning. Small, easy, low pressure.
Low pressure, not demanding much emotional investment, easy to respond to without effort. A light compliment is easy to receive and easy to respond to.
And it opens a door without pushing too hard. The other person can respond briefly or expand. Either way works.
The third building block, an open question with a personal touch, not yes or no. Something that invites a short story.
How long have you been waiting? Do you come here often? Have you tried the food here before?
And notice, these questions are not deeply personal. They're situational. They relate to the shared moment, not someone's whole life story.
The fourth building block, relating, not just asking. After someone answers, you add something of your own. You don't just collect information, you share a little too.
So if someone says, "Yeah, I come here most weekends," you might say, "Oh, nice. I'm actually trying it for the first time. Any recommendations?"
Relating, connecting your own experience to what the other person just shared. It creates balance. It's not an interview, it's an exchange.
An exchange, a mutual sharing where both people give and receive. Small talk should feel like a gentle back and forth, not one person asking and the other answering forever.
And the fifth building block, the graceful exit. Knowing how to end small talk warmly without it feeling sudden or rude.
Graceful, done in a smooth, elegant, comfortable way. A graceful exit might sound like, "Well, it was really nice talking to you. Enjoy the rest of your day." Or, "I should get going, but it was lovely chatting."
These phrases close the conversation with warmth. They don't just disappear, they leave a nice final impression.
And honestly, knowing you have a graceful way to exit makes starting the conversation feel less scary. Because you know there's an end point. You're not committing to an endless conversation.
That's such a good point. The fear of small talk is partly the fear of, what if I can't stop it? Knowing your exit line removes that fear. Let's go through some really specific situations because small talk changes slightly depending on where you are. James, let's start with waiting somewhere. A queue, a waiting room, a bus stop.
This is probably the most universal small talk situation, and the easiest entry point is always the wait itself.
This is taking forever, isn't it? I didn't expect it to be this busy today. Do you know if it's always like this?
These work because waiting is a shared, mildly annoying experience. And mild shared annoyance is wonderful small talk material.
Mild, small in degree, not intense. Mild annoyance. The gentle, harmless kind of frustration. Perfect for bonding with strangers.
Second situation, at a social event, a party, a work event, a wedding, anywhere with lots of people you don't know well.
And here, the entry point is often the event itself or your connection to it. So, how do you know the host? Have you been to one of these before? This is such a lovely venue.
Venue, the place where an event is happening. And commenting on the venue, the food, the music, these are all safe, easy openers because they relate to something you both experience.
Third situation, at work with someone you don't know well, a new colleague, someone from a different department, someone in the lift.
Back to the lift.
Always back to the lift. And here, work related small talk is usually safest. Are you settling in well? How's your week going? Busy time of year, isn't it?
And these questions show interest without being too personal. They respect the professional boundary while still being warm.
Boundary. A limit that defines what is appropriate or comfortable in a relationship or situation. Workplace small talk has its own boundaries. Friendly but not overly personal.
Fourth situation, traveling. On a train, a plane, in a taxi. This one is interesting because strangers on a journey often talk more openly than strangers anywhere else.
Maybe because there's a natural built-in ending. You know the conversation will end when the journey ends, which makes it feel safer somehow.
Safer, less risky, more comfortable. And in travel small talk, you can ask things like, are you heading home or just visiting? Long way to go still. First time on this route.
Travel small talk often becomes the most memorable. Actually, some of the best conversations happen with people you'll never see again.
There's something freeing about that. No history, no future, just this one shared moment.
Freeing, giving a sense of liberation, removing pressure or restriction. Talking to a stranger you'll never see again removes the fear of judgment completely.
Because it truly doesn't matter what they think of you. You'll likely never know, and you'll likely never see them again. So you can just be yourself. Relaxed.
Which is, ironically, when small talk often becomes the easiest. James, let's talk about what happens after the opener, because starting small talk is one skill. Keeping it going naturally, that's another skill entirely.
Completely. And I think the key to keeping a conversation going is following the energy, paying attention to how interested the other person seems, and matching that energy.
Following the energy, noticing the other person's level of interest and engagement, and adjusting your own behavior accordingly.
If they're giving short, polite answers and not asking anything back, that's a signal. They might be busy, tired, or just not in a chatting mood, and that's completely fine.
Completely fine. Not every small talk attempt needs to become a long conversation. Sometimes a short, pleasant exchange is exactly enough.
But if they're asking questions back, adding details, laughing, that's an invitation to continue. The conversation has its own natural rhythm, and your job is just to listen to it.
Rhythm. The natural pattern or flow of something. Conversations have rhythm just like music. Some are fast and lively, some are slow and calm. You follow the rhythm rather than forcing your own.
And one really useful technique for keeping things going, the and you bounce back. Whenever someone asks you something after you answer, bounce the question back to them.
Bounce back to return something, like throwing a ball back to someone. How was your weekend? Pretty relaxed, actually. Just stayed home. How about you?
It's such a simple technique, but it keeps the conversation balanced. Nobody feels like they're being interrogated, and nobody feels like they're doing all the talking.
Interrogated, questioned intensely, like in a formal investigation, which is the opposite feeling you want in small talk.
You see?
And now, let's talk about ending. Because knowing when and how to end small talk is just as important as starting it.
The signals that it's time to wrap up. The conversation naturally pauses. Someone glances at the time, the cue starts moving, your stop is coming up.
Wrap up, to bring something to a natural conclusion or end. And reading these signals is a skill that comes with practice.
And when you notice them, you can use a warm closing phrase. Well, it was really nice talking to you. Anyway, I should let you get on with your day. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
These phrases close things warmly and respectfully. They don't trail off awkwardly or just stop without explanation.
Trail off to gradually become quieter or less clear, often ending in an unclear or unfinished way. A conversation that trails off feels unfinished. A conversation that's closed warmly feels complete.
And that complete feeling, that's what makes small talk feel successful. Not how long it lasted, just how warm it felt while it happened.
Warmth over length, always.
Let's go through today's vocabulary. So many useful words and phrases. James?
Let's go. First, pointless.
Pointless means having no purpose or meaning. For example, small talk can feel pointless at first, but it actually serves an important social purpose. Repeat, pointless.
Pointless. Next, spontaneous.
Spontaneous means happening in the moment without planning. For example, real conversations are spontaneous, unlike scripted classroom dialogues. Repeat, spontaneous.
Spontaneous. Next, awkward silence.
An awkward silence is an uncomfortable pause in conversation where neither person knows what to say. For example, even native speakers experience awkward silences sometimes. Repeat, awkward silence.
Awkward silence. Next, low pressure.
Low pressure describes something that doesn't demand much effort or emotional investment. For example, a light compliment is low pressure and easy to respond to. Repeat, low pressure.
Low pressure. Next, to relate.
To relate means to connect your own experience to what someone else has shared. For example, instead of just asking questions, try relating with your own short story. Repeat, to relate.
To relate. Next, graceful.
Graceful describes something done in a smooth, elegant, comfortable way. For example, having a graceful exit line makes starting small talk feel less risky. Repeat, graceful.
Graceful. Next, a venue.
A venue is the place where an event is happening. For example, commenting on the venue is a safe and easy way to start small talk at a party. Repeat, a venue.
A venue. Next, a boundary.
A boundary is a limit that defines what is appropriate or comfortable in a relationship. For example, workplace small talk has its own natural boundaries. Repeat, a boundary.
A boundary. Next, to bounce back.
To bounce back means to return something, like a question, to the other person. For example, after answering, always try to bounce the question back to keep the conversation balanced. Repeat, to bounce back.
To bounce back. Next, to interrogate.
To interrogate means to question someone intensely, like in a formal investigation. For example, bouncing questions back avoids making the other person feel interrogated. Repeat, to interrogate.
To interrogate. And finally, to trail off.
To trail off means to gradually become quieter or less clear, often ending unclearly. For example, a warm closing phrase prevents a conversation from trailing off awkwardly. Repeat, to trail off.
To trail off. 11 words today. All ready for your next small talk moment.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. James, I think we've officially prepared everyone for their next lift encounter.
Fully prepared. No more standing in silence watching the floor numbers change.
No more. Just warm, easy, natural small talk, even in the smallest, most awkward spaces.
And remember, small talk doesn't need to be brilliant. It just needs to be kind. A little warmth, a simple question, a genuine response. That's all it takes.
That's really all it takes. If today's episode helped you, please like the video, subscribe to Rush Pages, and leave us a comment.
And today's comment question: tell us about the most awkward small talk moment you've ever had. We all have one. Share yours. We'd love to laugh about it together.
The lift, the queue, the wedding table with strangers, wherever it happened, we want to hear it.
We really do.
This is Emma, and you have been listening to the Rush Pages podcast. Go on, start a little small talk today. See you in the next one.